Okay, hello. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to edit the appraisal settings in the backend Karma dashboard for your website. So I am in my current dealership, my sandbox. I'm going to go into settings and appraisal. And I'll pull up my appraisal settings. So I'm going to go into evaluation settings. That's what we're going to be working on this session. I'm going to drop down. And you might have heard us explain this before. So the dollar value that your customer sees are based on a couple numbers. One is a Black Book or an Edmunds or a KBB base value, and then subtracted from that is a reconditioning amount based on the kilometers of the vehicle. So that is what that number is here. That's the reconditioning percentage. So if you think that too much reconditioning is being taken off each vehicle for your dealership, you can drop this down to say 70 or 80%. It's completely up to you. Other factors that go into the final cost or values that the customer sees are each of these factors multiplied by this spread factor. So the spread is a percentage, and then each of these factors is multiplied by it. So for example, if I have this at 10 and this at -3, baseline being 0, this is going to, the lowball factor is going to multiply by -30%, if that makes sense. So if I set this at 5, keep in mind that baseline is 0. So if I have this AI recon percentage at 100% and I have this at 0, that's going to be the truest number. That's going to be the book value minus the reconditioning. And then I can adjust these from there. So if I want this at -3, maybe I want this at +3. Another control here is the max spread amount. So because the spread is based on a percentage, if you get a vehicle that has a very high valuation, the spread can get very large. So we've put in this max spread amount so that you can control how wide that spread from the lowball to the mint gets. So let's say we want this at around $7,000 or maybe $6,000. So we don't want that spread between lowball and mint to ever get beyond $6,000. Another thing you can control in this evaluation settings is the enablement of at-home appointments. So if your dealership can handle at-home appointments where you would be allowing customers to schedule appointments at their home or work, you would toggle this on. This ADF email address is your ADF email, is the email that allows your information, scheduled appointments, to be pushed into your CRM. So you would put that here. You can do multiple of them. There's one per line. This email appointments to is who you want the appointment information emailed to. So this ADF email address will send it to your CRM, but someone can also get a backup email from the tool talking about the scheduled appointment of a customer. So I'm going to just put myself in here, and these people have to be programmed as users into the system. So Sandy H is programmed to the users in the system. So Sandy H will get an email when someone schedules an appointment. You now also have control of the labels of each of the factors. So if you don't want this to be called lowball, perhaps you want it to be called below average, you can just go in here and that'll be immediately changed on the website. Keep in mind you don't want these to be way too long because it's going to look poor on the website. The last two things you guys have to control is this unicorn threshold. So what the unicorn threshold is, some of you may have seen the unicorn messaging. So when there isn't a value for a vehicle, for example, a 2017 vehicle isn't going to have a trade value attributed to it. You have a very old or high kilometer value vehicle, or you have a vehicle that's just very rare. So there's not good enough information to give a good dollar value to a customer. They're going to get a unicorn message. This unicorn threshold is for a dollar value. So if you hover over here, I'll tell you what it says. But if mint condition price is below $500, this unicorn message will be shown to the customer. So for some dealerships, they might not want vehicles that have a value under $500 to be shown to the customer because they think that might turn off a customer, and they'd rather show the unicorn message so they can still have a discussion about maybe adding value to the trade to end up selling them a new vehicle. So that's what that threshold handles. If you want to put it at 600 or 1,000 or 200 is completely up to you. Then this min option value, it's only applicable mostly for some of the American clients because their back-end system pulls a lot more information. So some of the options, most of the options in Canada are above $100, but some of the options that are pulled in the States are a $72 vehicle option, a $5 vehicle option, things that don't really make a huge difference at the end of appraising a vehicle and take up a lot of room. So some of the vehicles will pull a lot of information. So you can go in here and decide to not show any options under $100 or $200 or $300. It's completely up to you. So then after you hit save on there, it's completely live on the website and changed. So you can go in and change one of these dollar values and then go on the website and see a direct effect of how that is saved on your website. So that is how you set up evaluation settings.